everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today on this episode of Author to Authority. If you listened to the previous episode, you heard me with our podcast host, Kim Thompson Pinder, where she was introducing this new segment that I'm going to do. So I am very, very excited to be here today to chat with you guys. And before I go in, I should probably introduce myself, right? So to get started, my name is Crystal Duku, and I am a social media consultant as well as coach. And what I do is work with a lot of entrepreneurs, small business owners, to help them really develop a good social media plan for their business and for their brand and for their image. So I'm very, very passionate about the field. And I was super excited when I was given this opportunity to just share with you monthly about social media, how you can use social media for your business, and really the impact that it leaves on not just you, but your audience. So join me today as I delve into a little bit of myself, a little bit about social media and why it is important, and just the different types of platforms that you can use and what is the next step in moving forward. So as I mentioned, my name is Crystal, and I have been in the social media business for, I would say, 6.5 years. Going this next month is going to be 7 years that I've been in this business, and I love it. The way that it started is, I would say, I'm not sure how many of our listeners on here today know about High Five or have used High Five. I know many of us has used MySpace, AOL. So since I was a teenager, I really was interested in online platforms. So when High Five came out, I was on it. MySpace, I also really enjoyed MSN and ICQ because I felt like it was such a great way to connect with people that you do not see on a regular basis. It was such a great way to reach out to new people that might have similar interests or from the same background, or really people that you can learn from. So I actually always was interested in having this type of platform because I felt it was such a great community. Now, as I delved into my career, and I always had a desire to help other people and also create a business that I enjoy, where I can help others. I can really grow a good base of where I'm impacting others and helping others. And I remember I was searching for that for a long time. And a dear friend of mine, while we were talking, she said, you do so well with social media. Everybody comes to you for advice on how to use it. And this was just at the beginning when Facebook pages were introduced, Facebook business pages. So by then, social media really was just for social and personal interactions. But I would say at that time, when we started to have this conversation, Facebook now started to introduce that business aspect of it, the pages, and how you can use this to reach new audiences, right? So she said, so I had a business at that time. I did network marketing. So I was involved with Amway, and they had so much great products that I really liked selling it. And I would just naturally put it online. And the training that they offered, one of the leaders, she spoke about how she has used social media to really, spread her message and let people know what it is that she's doing. So I started to do that and doing research into understanding what hashtags are. And it's so much fun. We're definitely going to have an episode about that, but really delving into how you can take what it is that you're doing and bring awareness to other people and share information. So I would just naturally do this for myself, and I enjoyed it a lot. And I was on social media all the time until the point, like I had friends that would say, I hope you're making money. I hope Facebook is paying you to be on it. And I was like, you know what, who knows, maybe one day. And now I get paid to be on social media. So, when you put things out there, it happens, right? Anyway, back to the point that I was saying with my with the background of what it is that I've been doing is, so my friend said, you really, everyone comes to you for advice and you share it and it's really helpful. Have you thought about monetizing this and turning it into a business, especially where you're searching for what it is that you want to do? And I never really thought about it. I think back then, and I think many of us as entrepreneurs can, we've gone through that period before we started. I mean, I know I did, where I was like, who's going to want to pay me? I lacked the confidence. I lacked the belief in myself that what I knew, my information is valuable, and there are people that would benefit from this who are willing to pay. And I mean, for the past 7 years, that, of course, that has been a journey, but that was the first stepping stone. And working with her, it really gave me that courage to step out. And I started talking to friends, people who had businesses. And what I started to do was exchange my time. I asked them for an opportunity so I can gain that experience, right? And that's how Imagery Mentors, which is the name of my business, came to be. So I'm very, very passionate about social media. I believe that we live in, I always say we live in this social media revolution, right? For the past few years, we've had technological revolution, industrial revolution, and I like to say we're living in the times of the social media revolution, where social media is a must, where social media is the go-to that people are on to find out information, whether it is about an individual or whether it is about a product or service. Before they go to your website, they go to check if you have a social media account. So it is very, very important to be on there. So I know with the past 3 years, there has been such a shift in the way that we do things that everything became virtual. And we're still living in a virtual world. Not everything is back to being in person. A lot of people had to pivot their business to getting online and now getting seen online. So social media, especially within the last few years, became not just a desire, but a need and a necessity for businesses. And if that's where you are, then I invite you to join me every month so I can share tips and tidbits with you on how you can now use social media, the different platforms, different tips and tricks, so that you can now get your message out there. You can get yourself seen out there and just enjoy both being in person as well as growing a really good, loyal following and audience online, right? So firstly, to start off, social media is a social networking site. So that is always something that I want everyone that I speak to or teach or help, I always make sure that that is shared as a takeaway. The back of your mind, to always remember that social media is a social networking site. And we touched on it briefly the last episode about when we go to networking events, the same way that we network in person is how we want to network on social media. We want to get to know our audience. We want to engage with others. We want to chat. We want to find out what it is that people like, what people desire. And the way that you do that is by firstly identifying your target audience so that you can go in and start interacting with people who would ideally want what you sell, whether it's a product or service. And you can do that from your personal social media account, or you can do it from your business account. But it's really a good way to develop that trust and that connection with others, so that when you start to now share information about what it is that you do, they are also invested in learning about you because you have spent time getting to know about them. So today, I just want to focus on 5 social media platforms that are really good for you to start off. Now, before I go into that, there are 3 things to remember before choosing your social media platform. 1, you want to find out which platforms you enjoy using. There are so many platforms that come out. There are so many social media platforms there. But the most important thing is that you want to be able to enjoy that platform. Because if you're going to spend time on it, you want to be able to enjoy it, right? There are some platforms I'm not a fan of, and I don't spend time on it because if I feel forced to create content on there, it's not going to resonate with my audience. So I stay away from it. So I find the platform that I enjoy using. 2, you also want to see where your audience lies. Now, I know it sounds like, but if my audience lies in a platform that I don't like using, what am I going to do? I mean, then that's where you will probably have to learn to love it a little bit, right? Because your audience is there. But I have found that usually the platforms we love and the people that we're connecting with and the people that we're reaching out to for our business, I feel like we gravitate to where they are, and they might most likely be where you are residing as well. I'm a huge LinkedIn user. I love LinkedIn. I'm very passionate about it. As a social media manager, they say you're not supposed to have any favorite platforms. That's not true. LinkedIn is my favorite platform, and I spend a lot of time on there. And that's where most of the people that I need to work with, I connect with as well. So your platform might be Instagram, or it might be Pinterest, or it might be YouTube, or it might be TikTok. That's where you're going to find out what it is that you love. And then you're going to find out, hey, well, where is my audience hanging out? Okay. And then the third thing that to always remember is to be yourself. Let your personality come out. Social media is a great tool to develop trust, so that people can get to know you. You can be a little bit vulnerable without giving out. You don't have to use it as a therapy session or to give all your information out there, but it's a great way to connect. And the way that we connect with others is by being a little bit vulnerable. I have been through with my business, when it started off, I didn't know. I know that I wanted to do social media. I know that I enjoyed it, but I also had no idea what I was doing. It was a learning process for me, and I was not making any money in the beginning, and it was all over the place. I wanted to do everything. I wanted to be everything to everyone, and it just didn't make sense. And it's taken me 7 years, and there have been pivots. There are things that I've tried, and I'm at a place where my business is doing well. I have a good steady stream of clients. I enjoy it. I am learning and I am growing, and it is profitable. But it took me 7 years to get here. And the reason is because it was a learning curve. And I am very open and upfront with that, because I think as entrepreneurs, it's very important to know that it's going to be up and down. So if you're at a place where, hey, my business isn't doing well, you don't feel like you have to fret and you're doing something wrong. And I share that to share that that's an example of being open and honest. Yours might look differently. So when you get in front of your audience, sharing a little bit of your journey and how you are where you are in your business and why it is important to you. When people learn your why, when people learn your love for doing something, they connect with you. And that is what social media serves as a great way to connect with others, a great way to really get your audience, to get your target audience to know who you are and to become invested with you, that they want to purchase your products or service because you've developed that trust. There is a bond that's growing. Okay, so that's something that you always want to remember. get on the platforms and you try it out. It took me some time to realize the platforms that I love the most. I didn't know it right off the bat. I tried all, I played around with it, and I settled on the platforms that I love and I work very well with. And then I also started to seek out where my clients are, and they were hanging out in the platforms that I loved a lot. And that you would find that may happen for you as well. As you spend time and as you start to realize which platforms you really love, you will probably find your target audience on there as well, because those are the people that you're connecting with and they're on the same page with you. And 3, be vulnerable, be open, use that opportunity to let your personality shine and to connect with your audience. Now, I'm going to leave you with some of the platforms that you can start looking at. If you're new to the social media game, if you're looking to expand, these are some of the platforms that you want to look at and try testing out. Facebook to today still remains the number one social media platform for business, for connections. I know it seems that it's going down. People, you would hear, oh, social media is for the older folks. I mean, Facebook is for the older folks, and I'm a big Facebook user. I still love Facebook, right? But that's not true. Today, it is still, in 2022, it's still the number one platform to be on. So I do recommend being on Facebook if that works for you. But being the number one platform, you definitely want to have a presence on there. Then there's Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and there is LinkedIn, my favorite. LinkedIn is the number one business networking platform. So if you are serious about growing your business connections, if you are serious about growing your professional image, you definitely want to be on LinkedIn. When people Google your name, your LinkedIn profile pops up. So that is very, very key to really having set up and have there. Okay, so next month, join me next month, where I'm going to start delving into each platform, highlighting what works in each platform, what are some of the tips you can use to really reach out, because each platform has their own algorithm and has different requirements. So I'm going to delve into the top 5 platforms and how you can use that to really start getting a headway into your social media business and into your social media image for yourself and for your business. So my name is Crystal. My business is Imagery Mentors. My links will be provided on there. If you need to chat, if you have a question about social media, connect with me on social media, connect with me on any of the platforms listed, and I would be happy to help you. And also, please check out the rest of our episodes here in the Author to Authority podcast, because there's so much information available to entrepreneurs that you can use as resources as you grow and you build your business. So I look forward to seeing you next month. Have a great day. Bye.